Alright, lot. I'm Boris and we in my channel as usual. Every day I create one video in my English speaking, in my English little stories and in my English readings. And after 1 year I want to see what I get. And today I want to continue for you my reading, and it's stories about Sherlock Holmes adventures. And let's start. Holmes examined it for some time and then folded it carefully and put it in his pocketbook. This promises to be a very interesting and unusual case, he said. You gave me a few details in your letter, Mr. Hiddleton Cobbett, but I would be very grateful if you tell this story again from our friend Dr. Watson. I'm not good at telling stories, said our visitor. He was rather nervous. You'll just ask questions if something is unclear. I'll begin from my marriage last year, but I want to say first of all that although I'm not a rich man, my family has been a trading turn for 5 centuries, and it's well known in the county of Norfolk. Last year I came to London and stopped at a boarding house in Russell Square. There was an American young lady there, Elsie Patrick. Somehow we became friends until I fell in love with her as a man could be. We got quietly married and returned to Norfolk as a couple. You'll think it's very mad, Mr. Holmes, that a man of a good old family could marry a woman like this, knowing nothing of her past or her family, but if you saw her and knew her, it would help you to understand. Elsie was very straight. She gave me an opportunity to think it over and cancel the wedding if I wanted to do so. I have had something very unpleasant in my life, she said. I want to forget all about it because it's very painful to me. If you marry me, Hilton, you will marry a woman who did nothing wrong, but you will have to believe me and allow me to be silent about my past to the time when I become yours. If these conditions are too difficult, then leave me and go back to Norfolk, and I'll lead my lonely life here on which you found me. It was the day before our wedding. I told her that I agreed with her conditions and I keep my word. Well, we have been happily married already for a year, but about a month ago, at the end of June, for the first time I saw some signs of trouble. One day my wife received a letter from America. I saw the American stamp. She turned white, read the letter, and threw it into the fire. She didn't tell me anything, and I didn't say a word because a promise is a promise. But from that moment, she has always been uneasy. There is always a look of fear on her face, a look as if she is expecting something. If only she trusts me, she would see that I was her best friend. But if she doesn't speak, I can say nothing. She is an honest woman, Mr. Holmes, and whatever trouble has been in her past life, it's not her fault. I'm only a simple Norfolk squire, but there is no one in England who values his family honor more than I do. She knows it well, and she knew it well before she married me. She will never leave any stain on it, I'm sure. Well, now I come to the strange part of my story. About a week ago, it was the Tuesday of last week, I found on the window sills some little dancing figures like this on the paper. They were writing with chalk. I thought that it was the stable boy who had drawn them, but he swore he knew nothing about it. Anyway, they had appeared there during the night. I had them washed out and mentioned the matter to my wife afterwards. To my surprise, she took it very seriously and asked me if any more figures appeared to let her see them. And yesterday morning I found this paper on the sundial in the garden. I showed it to Elsie and she fainted. Since then, her eyes have been full of terror. That's why I wrote and sent the paper to you, Mr. Holmes. I think I couldn't take it to the police because they would have laughed at me. But you will tell me what to do. I'm not a rich man, but if there isn't any danger threatening my wife, I would spend my last money to save her. It's all of today, and I think it was nice for you, and uh, you can write me doing I something wrong with my reading or no, and maybe I add this part in my every week's videos. Maybe one day of the week I will be only reading for you. Write me about it, what do you think, and thank you for watching. Bye.